All right, folks. So this might be a little bit of a longer video, but I want to talk about the gaps, the Sunday market gaps when the market opens, right? This is such an easy strategy. I realize every single week when the market opens up, where's the last one? Tuesday, cool, Friday, Sunday. So this one here, look at another one right here, right? All of them always close the gap. Always. It always closes the gap, right? Where's the previous one? Where is it? Here. Okay, hold on. Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday. Look at this. It always closes the gap, even if it just tops it by a bit. But you know for a fact that a buy or a sell, whenever the market gaps, it goes and closes that. Like I just showed you that, right? So today, look at this. Look at this. So I can show you, like, using PRIMORA, how I would have, like, realistically tried to get involved in this. I'm going to actually backtest this thing, like, seriously, and see what we would have been able to do. So I'm just going to backtest it here and show you, right? So what I'm going to do, obviously I don't know exactly how it would work out, but let's just see. So Sunday opened up and we waiting on our plots. Like, obviously from here, if I know that if it gapping up, I'm going to be looking for my plots here to trade here. Sorry, here to trade here and here to trade here, right? Let me simplify that. If I get a plot or like one of the momentum signals that shows momentum and then pulls back to the MAs, I will then look to get involved on this time frame. If I get a plot on this time frame, I'll then look to get in on this time frame. So that's how I'm using multiple time frames, right? Very simple. Now, if I know that I'm going to be buying because I see that the gap was made and it hasn't closed it as yet, then guess what? I'm looking for a buy opportunity, right? So if I get a momentum plot on this time frame, I'll look for entries down here. If I get one on here, then I'll look for entries here. Very simple. So now it says wait for MP, and it says tradable here, but I know I want to see this gap closed, right? So far, this much hasn't closed since the market opened. All right, so that's what I'll be looking to target here. Very simple, every single week. So I wait for a bullish plot. By plot, I mean momentum signal, and for this to say tradable. All right, so I'm just waiting. Cool. So we got that first one. All I need now is to have a pullback to the MA at least for me to start looking for a trade, and you'll see how I'm entering this. So of course we might take losses. Who knows? Who cares? Cool. There we go. We get that top right here. I'm down in here right now, waiting to see price do what? Give me a bullish entry. So one, I want to see the MAs. I want to see price get above the MAs and create a high that I can trade through. So right now we're under the MAs, nothing for me to do. And if this invalidates, it'll tell me to wait for another MP. So I'll wait for that, right? So patience is cured here. So nothing yet. We finally get above the MAs right here and see it created a high that I can trade through. Bam. I'll get in through there if it passes that. So far, everything is still in alignment. I'm just waiting. Now let's see if we get above that. There we go. So we get above that. I enter. My stop loss goes below the 2-minute candle low. Here it is. Here's what that looks like on the 15. On the 15, we would actually want this to be telling us that we're bullish, but we know that the gap is always going to be filled, right? So I can get in earlier on this, right? And here we go. I typically go for a 1 to 5, but again, if I'm aiming for it to at least close the gap, then I want to see it close the gap. So that'd be like a 1 to 15. I'd be waiting to see if I can get that play out. Immediately take a loss. That is perfect. Not a problem here. Doesn't really matter because guess what? The reward would be ridiculous. So that's the first L. So we jot that down real quick. So what we're gonna do is this. W's, L's. I don't want to do break even again, so whatever it is, and we're risking $100. So far we took 1 L, so we lost 100. And for this, no sync, and hold on, get rid of that one and use the anchored text instead. Oh, where is that? It's not here. Come on, hurry up. Oh, they don't have the anchor text anymore? Wait, that's weird. Or do I have to select it to be anchored? Oh yeah, anchor. Cool. Yeah, perfect. So that's how they do it now. All right, so that's how it works. So now that's the first L. That's perfect. So now we took that there. We're still valid to trade right here. So we continue looking for a trade. And we get above here without it going. So that would have immediately resulted into a next L. Perfect. So that right there immediately, next L. You have to be realistic with it. All right. So boom, that'd have been 2 L's right there. Now we're waiting. Nothing. See, it didn't cross there. Came back down below. And now it says wait for MP. So now we just wait. We're chilling. Nothing to do until we get another bullish plot on the 2-minute. Just waiting. Waiting. There we go. So we get another plot here. It says tradable. Now we're just waiting for a pullback here. Yeah, that's it. Let's see what we get. Cool. Came back down, closed below there. Now we have to wait for another plot. Nothing to do. And price just tanks. Great. So it saves you from getting into some spots that just doesn't make sense to get into. All right. And now we just wait. There you go. Look at that. Falls off. No matter what, we know that price is going to fill the gap, right? So you can look to get that buy sometime soon. Now we're just waiting on that bullish plot on the 2-minute. Let's see. Nothing yet. Still nothing yet. Even though it's pushing bullish, nothing yet. There you go. We just got that. Now we got that tap into there. Now I just need this to come above the MAs and I'll get in for a buy. Nothing yet. Cool. I would have taken this coming above here, right here. Yeah. So I would have taken this knowing that it's coming above the MAs. Bam. This is actually the one I would have gotten into. Stop loss is below the 2-minute candle low. So that's that one right there. And I'm aiming for what? The same thing. I'm aiming for the gap to be filled, which would be the entire thing all the way up here. That's a insane return if that does go. Instead, let's see what we get. Okay, it's starting to move. No break evens, just accept the loss or the win, whatever it is. Cool, so we take an L right here. Or realistically speaking, if I see that it goes for like a 1 to 5, I'm definitely going to break even. This here goes for a 1 to 9. So I'd definitely go break even. I wouldn't even lie to you right there. So more than likely, this would have just been a break even trade. Even though I said we wasn't going to do the break evens, it's just realistic that you would want to protect the capital after such a big move, you know. It would only make sense to do so. So here's what it is. Only after a certain move though. So obviously like a 1 to 5 or something like that, you wouldn't expect it to come back down there. Oh, I'm sorry. So what I can do is simplify it like this now too. In terms of trade management, I can say, so leave that break even. This is break even right here after a 1 to 5. All right. And then we close the trade when the 2-minute closes below the 6. Simple as that. Let's see what we would have come up with. So 4.2 actually instead. So we would have walked away so far with a 4.2 plus 1W, and then the RR is 4.2 so far. You're sitting here watching me build this as well, same time, right? Creating systems. Although I already had like systems like this before, but I'm finalizing what I want to do. So now we would have walked away at 4.2 just to walk with some capital, right? To protect the downsides. So immediately we're up like 2. You understand? Because we lost 2 already. So let's go continue. Cool. We got another plot here. Now we're just waiting to see price pull back to the MAs at least. Price takes off, right? Price takes off. Now we're just waiting on that pullback to the MAs. If we get that, if we get that, there we go. So now it pulls back to the MAs. This is exactly where I'm now starting to look for a trade on the 15-second. See the 15-minute here, almost closing the gap. So now we're just looking to get in. Remember our management plan. Here it is. Price comes above the MAs. Bam. We could have gotten it right here. And stop loss is below the 2-minute candle. There you go. Or you could have even waited until price, like the MA is crossed, and then got in through this high. You know, so many ways you can do it. So you could have been in right here once that cross right there under the 2-minute candle, or you could have said, all right, cool, I see price above both MAs, so if it continues and breaks this one, then I'm in that one. Your choice. Doesn't really matter. It does, but it's all your choice. It's preference, right? So you could have been in on both. Let me just leave both, just perspectives if you wanted to, you know what I mean? And we're aiming again for the gaps to be filled. So like this right here and this right here, we're aiming for that. That's what we want to see filled. But again, I'm managing it from the 2-minute. So right now, if the 2-minute closes below the 6, I'll come out of the trade. I'll close both of them. And there you go, momentum. So boom, close the gap. And now continues. We are waiting for the 6. Wow, okay. So now we're waiting for the 6 to the 2 to close below the 6 over here. Once that closed there, I would constitute that as a place that I would start to look for another entry, but also a place now that I can exit. There you go. So now it closes below there. As you can see, it turns purple. That's how the indicator works. So now I would have closed right there. So that trade right there would have been 1 to 13, and then the other one would have been 1 to 17, right? And that's how I would be trading this. You understand? Very simply put. And now see the 15-minute just gave one. So if the 15-minute comes down and gives a top, you can start to look for entries on the 2-minute. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. And that's just how I would be trading this thing over and over and over and over and over again. Yep, there you go. So you got that top down here. You got the play down in here. Obviously, you wouldn't be looking for the entries yet because you need that 2-minute, what's it called? Plot. You need that 2-minute momentum plot, which we haven't gone to yet or gotten. So now we're getting up close to live price, and here's live price right now. So right now we haven't received any plots, so there's nothing to do, right, on gold right now. But what we do know is that this 15-minute high is here, bullish liquidity, and then it's very likely that it wants to just continue running on that, you know, because the bullish momentum, and then the 2-minute spark right here now. And what we see, what we can observe is easy. If I just pull up the 2-minute chart, what we can see immediately is that 1, we're breaking highs, came back, broke the low, but now came back again, started breaking highs, pull back, breaking highs, and now this is a new pullback, and we're expecting this high to get run on, right? Very simple. And internally, what we can see, breaking highs, breaking highs. Right now it broke that low, so now we're looking to see if this will hold up as that new internal structure, that structure low. We're now looking to see if that structure low will now hold up to then continue the bullish trend to cross this new high and then take this liquidity and this liquidity, right? Because that's how the market works on repeat. Why? Because the 15-minute has already proven bullish. MAs are moving, prices above the MAs. We got our momentum plot here. We're just tapping the 6. This can easily continue going. And if I were to go to like the 4-hour chart, as you can see, the 4-hour chart has already done it, came, tapped, and now is now pushing, right? For what? For this liquidity, this high right here. You understand what's happening on the daily? Pushed up, came back down, was breaking highs, and now probably wants to go for this liquidity. And on the monthly, it could probably go for this liquidity and then this liquidity, right? And this is how the markets move, just like it's been doing all this entire time. Here it is on repeat. That liquidity, 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 the target tops. You know what I mean? So on and so forth, so on and so forth. Through all these highs, all these highs, all these highs, all these highs, all those highs. Then started to break highs again, break highs, break highs, break highs. This time people trying to short the whole market. They're trying short in here, trying short in here. Like, you understand? So be on the right side of the market. That's all I can say. But hopefully that made a lot more sense in terms of clarifying what markets does and how this thing works. Because like right now, look at this. Very likely this is going to continue start buying up soon. On 15 second, all we waiting on right now is for this to come back over the MAs and start tearing through highs, just like this over here, and then just like this over here. And this is how the market fractally moves. You see, bam, bam, breaking highs, breaking highs, breaking highs, breaking highs. That's it. Is this not bullish sentiment? So just trade the market structure always. Here's the high getting traded through. Here's the high getting traded through. Here's the high getting traded through. Here's the high getting traded through right here. Trades through it right there. Trades through it right there. Trades through it right there. Right there. And remember, this is just this. You get me? This is literally this. Bullish structure. Here it is. Bam. Big up yourself, folks.